Everybody has a problem. Sometimes I sit and remind myself of that. But another thing is, misery loves company. In many aspects, that quote is usually related to spite or animosity. But on the other hand, sometimes it's about people wanting to know that they're not alone in their struggles and that there's somebody else going through it too. So in this video, I want to tap into a few areas I've struggled with in the past and concepts that have really helped me think through it and overcome. Maybe I can be the company to you who's watching. So anyway, highs and lows are a part of life, but at times those high moments can come and go quickly, and the low moments stick like a bad habit. It becomes a part of your routine. Like you feel as though you gotta feel bad about something. That depressive state comes around and stays for a while, and it's not because of any particular event, mishap, or problem. It just randomly shows up. Other times, depression shows up like the tax man. It comes to collect and steal small parts of your joy, just when you're starting to power through and enjoy things. Almost like in a damn, it's always something type of way. I think that can be one of the biggest struggles in life, learning how to regulate yourself. And by regulate, I mean understanding those depressive states are going to come. You can't outsmart your emotions, but you can prepare for them. We allow those low feelings to overtake us. We start to neglect ourselves, whether it's our work and our projects, our diet and fitness, or even our hygiene at times, even though you don't want to do that too much. But you got to be patient and diligent with yourself because, again, it's like a bad habit. It doesn't go away overnight. You have to work to get rid of it. Even if things are falling down around you, keeping up with certain aspects is very essential. Otherwise, you're going to pay for it later. Regulating yourself also comes with understanding when you're at your best and when you're at your not so best. Taking advantage of those motivated, productive states is just as important as preparing for those negative waves that come, where you can almost use those time spans as a way to give your mind a rest. Generally, I'm of the opinion that it's much easier for things to get worse before they get better, because better requires active work and ongoing maintenance of that work, and also the trait of resilience to keep moving forward when things get shaky. So that's why, just like we can become addicted to success or highs, we can become addicted to struggle and failure, the lows. One thing I've never heard anyone talk about is how our lows can trap us too. It's a feeling of comfortability because everything is falling apart anyway. So if it can't get worse, then why should I care anyways, right? For many people, there's a fear of things reaching the bad side, but once they get there, they just stay. It's almost like a dependence gets developed. Your body tricks you, your mind tricks you. Remember those times where you didn't care about anything? Remember those times where you turned your mind off to everything because you figured it can't get any worse? Remember when you shrugged off your responsibilities or necessities because you felt like it? It's even worse when the struggle becomes a part of some people's identity. It's just that easy, but maybe that's a discussion for another time. Some of us have really been through it, man. People disappoint you. You disappoint yourself. Curveballs get thrown at you. Everything costs money. You gotta throw that in there too. And all the while, if you're a person who thinks a lot and wants better in life, there's a frequent internal battle to get away from the things that keep you satisfied in those moments. Sometimes we say we're at our breaking point. Then fast forward and look at us, still in the same spot. That can get to you, man, when even your breaking point isn't enough to motivate you. I think it's deeper than motivation, and it's deeper than just saying the right things. Because to me, motivation ain't shit. It makes you feel good, but to fully change requires diligence more than anything. If you don't capitalize on your initial waves of motivation, you start wandering in confusion. Now, I don't know about anybody else, but I'd rather empty my head and reset than be confused. And that's where a lack of direction comes from too. That's a problem. An empty head doesn't stay empty for long. It has to get filled with something. And when you don't have a purpose that keeps your mind occupied, negativity fills it a lot faster. And here's my thing. Blind positivity isn't enough to fill that space either. I just don't think that's a solution. Or sometimes I refer to it as positivity babbling. This is what I call it when we lie to ourselves, just throwing words out there because they sound good. I'm also not a fan of when folks do another version of this where they'll dismiss your experiences because it's negative and only the positive experiences are relevant. I sort of describe it as when people don't like hearing the less positive things. They don't want to be realistic, or at least acknowledge that two sides can exist or multiple sides can exist. What it boils down to them is saying, don't talk about bad things because it makes me feel bad. Let's just blow smoke up each other's ass because that works better. You can't run away from the bad, man. One thing I've consistently learned to do is always maintain my joy. Always find things to look forward to. I'm always up for events, trying new things, new foods, new projects, new styles, but also remaining grounded in things that keep me in a positive flow. Our mindset shapes our reality, and certain things just come natural to us. I think, unfortunately, one of those parts of life, especially for a lot of us guys, is that there's a general position that we're just supposed to be unhappy in life, or at least unaffected by the struggles we have or the hits we take. In a way, I get it, because ain't nobody coming to save you. But we can't keep our head down for too long, and that's why it's important to learn how to not just think our way through things, but learn how to feel our way too. There's always another day, and whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, it is what it is. But the goal should always be for another day to sound like a great thing to look forward to. Be sure to drop a like below and check out my newsletter where I share notes like this straight to your inbox. And if you want to see more from me, subscribe to this channel below. And to wrap things up, I'm out.